Okay, here we go, defiwind Village. We're going to have a look around, look at all the new shiny gear for 2024. We're kicking off with Duotone. There's obviously a big story here, but it's pretty loud on the stage because Brian Talman's there. So let's go in, see who we can see around, and there we go. Perfect. This has actually worked out perfect. We've got Mr. Jordy Vonk.
Action, more action.
If you haven't seen, you might not have seen my video, but I was speaking to Jordi before I went sailing the other day, and I went, oh, what speed you going? He's like 40, 43. I was thinking, oh right, it's going to be super fast out there. I went out there, did about 30, so you're pretty quick at the moment.
I'm not slow. No, I wanted to motivate you, but I heard it's more demotivating than motivating.
Totally demotivated. I have heard good stuff. Winter training has been going well, from what I hear.
Yeah. I mean, it's training. You never really know what the others are using. You know, was I on fast stuff and they not so fast stuff? What happens when everyone gets their new gear and how are they back then? But signs are good. You know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling different.
The smile is there.
The smile is there. It's funny. You know, there was a guy on the boat like, man, you're smiling so much now. I was like, man, it's different. You know, like I think it was safe to say I was not having the most fun last year. Due to some reasons, let's say. And it's looking a hell lot better. What does it mean? I don't know. Am I going to be on the podium challenging the title? Am I going to be 9th, which is the only.
What's the goal?
To be honest, it's tough, you know, like I want to jump out on the podium, but I think it will be like, I don't know, 10 guys being super close together. So I think you can be 2nd or 8th being on pretty much the same level, you know. So if I'm in the game and I'm fighting with the top guys and I end up 6th, I'll be happy, you know, because last year I was not in that top group.
That's what you want to be. You want to be fighting.
I want to be fighting with the fastest guys. You know, I don't want to be the one who's hoping for someone to make a mistake and maybe make it. You know, no. I want to be one of the fast guys, be challenging for the podium. And of course, my goal is to make the podium. But coming from out of top 10, that's quite far away, and I know the level is super tight. But I'm not gonna say I'm gonna settle for 7th. No. I'm not gonna be like, if I'm top 8, I'm fine. No, I want to fight for the podium and see how it goes. That's the goal.
Well, let's talk about gear, because obviously sponsored by Duotone now. Wow, I don't know if you can hear it on this mic, but Brian Talman is.
Yeah, that's why I said action. That's the only word that comes out 100 times.
It's super loud. Maybe this mic isn't picking it up, but it's crazy. So obviously Duotone now, which used to be Fanatic boards.
Yes.
They're now Duotone boards, obviously going with the sails, all Duotone, that's the new branding. But it's the same designer, the same system. What's changed? Give us
I mean, in basic, only the logo on the board changed.
Okay.
Internally, it's been a little bit of a change as well. I mean, Craig Gertenbach, as you know, was always the product manager of Fanatic Windsurfing and SUP. And Raul was product manager for Duotone Windsurfing. Now, actually, we don't have product managers or brand managers anymore because there's one brand. The brand is Duotone. Now we have line managers. So there's a line manager in the kite division. There's a line manager in the wing division, which is Craig Gertenbach now. So Greg is not responsible for the windsurfing boards anymore, and we have Raul, which is the line manager of windsurfing. So kind of the responsibility of the board shifted also towards Raul, and he's now responsible as Duotone Windsurfing as a whole. But in the end, the main tester or the main testing guys for freeride and up are Danny Eberly and me. Like the last couple of years, Sebastian Wenzel is still the shaper.
Still the same model names by the looks of it.
Yeah, of course, to not create too much confusion. Like when Duotone, from North Sails to Duotone, it was the North Sails Warp became the Duotone Warp, you know, like we kept all product names the same. With the boards, we did exactly the same. Because, you know, like even from the Falcon this year, some of the models are unchanged. So yeah, just not to create too much confusion, we just kept the same. We kept the Falcon, we kept the Jag, the Blast, you know, as the people know, they go to the shop and if they had a Fanatic Blast and they want the newer model, they take the Duotone Blast,
Yes.
which is just the easiest to tell.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. And I see on a few of the boards you've got D-Lab. Is that what's going on?
That's very new and exciting. It's not something that came with the brand switch. I think if it would have remained Fanatic, this would have come up as well.
Okay.
Because it's not a project we've been working on for a couple months. No, it took a couple years to.
So what
to go
is
through
it?
this.
I'll be honest.
Yes. Basically, the boards are produced in a different factory.
Okay.
So I think everyone know that all our boards were coming from Cobra
In Thailand.
in Thailand.
Yeah.
These boards are still coming from Thailand, but they're not Cobra boards, which is very interesting. It's a different way of producing the boards. They're also CNC, so they're not all at least coming out of mold.
Okay.
But it's a different technology, and it's especially we now made the high-end boards in this technology, so all SLS and normal boards, let's say, so like a Gecko,
Yeah.
which doesn't have an additional thing.
Which is the free move.
Which free ride board, they're still all produced in, as it was with Fanatic in Cobra, but the high-end boards, which is the Falcon and the Grip, so the high-end wave boards and the slalom boards, they are made in a new technology in that factory, making them what I believe the best is lighter and stiffer.
Okay.
Because without changing anything on the shape, cutouts the same, everything is the same, but we improved the.
And you notice that as a sailor?
Yeah, I mean it's very easy, no? Like when we're testing, we take the board as it is. Like we use our board as a standard. We started to play with this technology, and the board got that more direct feedback, you know. So we were getting a bit more acceleration and more performance out of the board, simply changing the construction, which has been amazing. And it's tough to hear, but like just knocking on the board, you know, like. Sounds sexy, doesn't it? You know, like you hear and you feel that it's different. And basically what I've been pushing for is that I think some other brands which are produced in Kinetic kind of rise in popularity because it was known to be kind of stiffer and stronger and la la la. And then they asked me like, okay, next year what we do with the boards? I'm like, I think the shapes we have are sick.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not like, oh, we need to change the board because like the only thing we're missing is this maybe kind of strength and stiffness that some others had.
Okay.
And now we have it, you know, like we have the strength and the stiffness in the shape that we were used to, which has been, I don't know, making mega exciting. Like I really feel like we stepped up our game, and maybe the most important for the consumers is that it's durable.
Yes.
You know, like they don't get soft as quickly, and you know, like lighter boards are fun, but when it's stronger, you know that the board will simply last longer.
Especially with the price of boards these days.
Yeah, I mean the price stayed the same. You know, I mean the price was high enough already, I guess. so it was more than fair to maybe keep the price the same. But again, I think it's a great development we had in the boards.
Obviously, Duotone is everything. I was just looking for the Power XT because that's usually the one that everyone's. But I can't see one.
It's actually stupid.
You not got one? Anyway, I was just going to show the ratchet extension.
There's no
but
Power XT, really?
Okay.
Yeah, in the sales.
In the sales. Okay. Well, we'll go through the sales because obviously you've got sales as well. We got the Warp. That's obviously the slalom sail.
Yes, I mean this is the slalom sail as we know it. Fair to say we didn't change too much.
No.
I think the sails prove themselves. The sails are fast.
And that's the thing, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
I've seen brands like changing left and right, and sometimes they go down. You never change a winning team.
No.
And again, I was super happy with the sails. I am super happy with the sails. Most of their attention went to the warp foil.
That's the big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, safe to say that's where we had the potentially biggest jump in performance. So kind of all our energy went into the warp foil, which is from the smaller size till the bigger size, completely redesigned and looks completely different. We don't have one standing here, as I think all the people got very excited, and
They've gone.
yeah, they're all gone. So so that's the whole reason they don't have one here on the stand. But yeah, that's one I'm mega exciting about, because that's where we made a huge improvement, and that's, I think, partly the reason why I'm feeling so much better on the water.
I'm looking forward to seeing the races this year, because it's a late start. So I mean, you've all been doing the training, you've all got little ideas, but until we hit that proper race course, you don't know. I mean, I saw you did a French national.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the way back from Tenerife, and then the forecast was insane, and I was testing some speedboards, and I saw there was this crazy forecast in Marianne, which
just south of, just up the road from here. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 hours, but it's 3 hours on the way to Austria, so it worked out perfect, and we absolutely scored, and I never sailed slalom in that much wind.
How much? Because I saw it looked ballistic. You were on 5.
There were, I mean, it was not all the time, but at the peak that we were racing, we had gusts over 50 knots. And just to put it in perspective, I was winning one of the finals doing a max speed of 28.5, 29 knots.
Just mental. My speed.
Yeah.
No, but like crazy. Just survival.
And the thing is, the wind was tough.
Yeah.
But the chop and it was a lake, man. It was like this high, and it was coming from 5 directions.
The thing is, we went to Marignan for the PWA and we got no wind, but that's what we were wanting, wasn't it? That's what we
Pierre mentioned it a couple times. He's like, if we had this in PWA,
I'd love to commentate.
Stuff would have been different, you know. And he's 100% right. Would have been insane, but
we need to do a storm chase PWA slalom. That's what we need to do.
Yes. And we have the Power XD.
I mean, this is these. You are selling a lot of these things. Yeah,
click.
Especially with the average age in windsurfing.
I need less down. Okay, click.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's safe to say 80-90% of the PWA guys are using it, and I think it's like, I don't know, 3-4 millimeters of difference in one click, and less than that you don't really feel. So whenever I'm like, okay, I need a bit more downhole, you know, it's like one click, and it's fine. And when you have to release it yourself, you know, like you can slip a couple millimeter, and then you pull a little bit more, and it's always a little bit guessing. And with this, you just know that if you put one click, you have that couple mil more down.
Do you mark your sails anymore, or you?
Yeah, like it's a system we are having here. This opening we have, so you can actually see the kind of the line of the mast and the extension. And then let's see if it's here in the sail. If you change it a couple of times, you tried the sail, I would say you need to, the sail, the biggest stretch is within the first 2 to 3 sessions. Afterwards, there is a Velcro in here, and let's say this is the perfect downhole. We can put this thing inside here.
Oh, I see.
You see, you put it on the line.
Okay, then you just pull your downhole.
And the next time, you don't even have to look at the downhole. You just look at this line, clack, 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 bam, it's on my setting, you go on the water. And then every time you're back at your session, at your settings, which is great, especially when you're not windsurfing so much. And you know, it's a 4.2. Maybe the last time you used the 4.2 is 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And you don't really remember exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And we have the downhole dots.
I was going to say, just show, because some people don't know about them. I've kind of said this before.
I don't understand why not all the brands have this.
I did speak to someone about this. They said, in case the factory put them in the wrong place.
Come on. Jesus Christ. You know, like, whenever I rig a sail, usually in the racing sails we only have the max wind. Here is the min and the max. I would always recommend the first time, put it until the dot, and you're for 90% right. It doesn't mean that this is in the perfect spot. I completely agree. But the first time you go on the water, you know that you are 90% right. And on the warps, for example, there is only the max wind. Yes, I am always using it a little bit more.
Well, you can even mark it yourself.
You can even put a little sticker yourself. But just to get the basic right,
just tell people what it is. You're looking for the loose.
Yeah. So we have the loose leech in the upper part of the sail, and with the sun from this direction, maybe from this direction you can see it a little bit better, but you can kind of see until where the loose leech is coming. And then
you see it actually easier from looking up from the down, obviously. But you can see it. It's like loose until it goes tight. And
exactly.
then you want that on the...
So whenever we are developing a sail, in the end, when the sail is completely ready, we're like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go, okay, this is downhole, feels for us perfect. Maybe there's a little bit taller guy who needs a bit more downhole, can over downhole a little bit, shorter guy, la la la, maybe a little bit less. But for 90%, you're correct.
Yeah.
Then we are looking at the harness lines. We are having, we can go there? Yeah. We're having exactly the same. When we're testing, okay, having the harness lines here gives us the best balance. Boom, we put a sticker inside. Might not be perfect, but you're for 90%
got
right.
that base to work on.
Exactly. And then of course we're checking the length of the extension and the boom. And then you know, we have all measurements, and those are the measurements we put on the final production sail. Okay. And I also have to say, I think with us it's pretty accurate, but it of course happens that you need to put it 2 centimeters more or less. And there, I've seen people which go like, the boom says 170, and I'm like, it needs a bit tighter, right? Put it on 172. No, but the sail says 170. I'm like,
Yeah.
And especially,
and it depends where you have the boom on the cutout.
That's one thing, but also normally when you have everything duotone, it should all be correct.
Yeah.
If you have a different brand boom, they might measure in a little bit different way. You know, like maybe I don't know, taking the outside of the boom instead of the inside. So it can be that measurements are a little bit different. I especially see this with extensions, where some are calculating from the bottom and some on top of the plastic, some don't have the plastic, so they all calculate a little bit different. And again, if there's a duotone extension in the duotone sail, it should be all perfect. I tell you, it should be. I think on the 5 meter warp, I'm using 16 instead of 14 extension, you know, so. It's 2 centimeters.
People at home, you need to know, I'm in a video of this. If you have your boom at the bottom or you have the boom at the top, that angle, was it trigonometry or Pythagoras' theorem or something?
Yeah, but that's why we actually never put one size here. We always say it's like 170 to 176.
Gotcha, okay.
You know, because it's like 170 at the bottom and 176 at the top. So
it's a big difference.
Yes, so you need to kind of figure it out yourself a little bit. Because, I mean, where you... You know, like we're using it on every spot. Yeah, it's like that, and it will always be like that. And it's the same what I see with clinics. You know, like there is never this golden rule that always works. You know, like you have to kind of create the feeling yourself, to feel things yourself, so you can adjust it towards your own preferences. Yeah.
What else have we got? Obviously, we've got some free ride sails, but
I think the most exciting sail we can show is the SLS construction we are having in the Superhero. It's I think unseen yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if we, for example, look at the battens here, there's not a single stitch.
Okay, so it's glued. Welded.
It's glued.
Welded.
Glued, yeah. I mean, it took a bit of time to. I think we produced like 50 prototypes. We put them to all the centers which we know are using the sails a lot, until we find the right glue to make sure it doesn't come off.
And the benefit of that?
The stretch, apparently, the stretch of the sail gets influenced by the stitches here. And with that glue, it allows the sail to stretch more freely. But then you need to imagine, you need to change the design accordingly. Because if you design everything with the stitches, of course, you want that sail to breathe in certain ways. But if you then suddenly take the stitches away, it starts to breathe more, you know? So it is redesigned towards having no stitches. And according Kai Hopf, our sail designer, it is beneficial to go without. But of course, it's let's say not cheap to figure out the right glue and all that kind of stuff. And here we have the carbon X-ply, which is made in a way to keep the profile of the sail in a certain position. We also have the E-Pace SLS, which doesn't have the glued bottom pockets, but it does have the carbon X-ply to make it more racy, to keep the profile more in the front. But it's exciting. I mean, I'm not an amazing wave sailor, but I do think these are the best wave sails I ever tried. Like, I do really prefer them over the normal superhero.
How's your forwards?
Almost. You saw the.
I've seen the video.
Not the video. The picture
The
sequence.
pictures, sorry, the sequence. That's
That
what it's
sequence was my third try, and there was a lot wrong about it, I know. But for the third try, you know, I actually water started away from it. So I was pretty
called.
proud.
We need to get him on a video. I think that should be it.
Yes.
Jordi Vonk lands the forward.
Yes. Let's see when we make it happen, but I'm in.
I'm ready.
I'm in.
All right, dude. Thanks very much.
No worries.
Good luck with the competition this year.
Thank you.
Like I said, I've heard very good things about him in training. But training? What is training?
What is training?
We
It
don't
doesn't
know.
count.
We don't know. Good job, mate. Good job.
Thank you.
All right.
Cheers.
All right, there we go. Jordi Vonk. We are going to head on to another stand. I don't know where we're going.